Hello. Today's topic is Evaluating Information on the Internet by Matt Maloney, Devin Piedmonte, and James Zachary. Today's readings is I read on the computer, it must be true, Evaluating Information on the Web by David Markovitz. In this reading, he just discusses about what to do and what not to do when believing information on the web. Second reading is Seek Strategically, Find Answers Appropriately by Judy Harris. This one just discusses question and answers from different websites. There's a lot of Q&As out there on the web and how to just see which one's right, which one's wrong. The third reading is Evaluating Information Found on the Internet by Elizabeth K. Kirk. And she just discusses different ways like how to look at the publisher, how to look at their credentials just to validate the person who's writing the information. So what is on the internet? The internet is a useful tool that allows people to find anything. Today, when people have to research or look for any type of information, the first thing they do is Google, Yahoo, Ask Jeeves, or what have you. But all the facts on there are not reliable. We will discuss what to look for and what to rely on.
Alright, how to evaluate. There's a couple things to look at when you're just trying to decide how to evaluate. First thing is a publisher. Next you have the author, and the source of information, and then citations. With the publisher, there's also a couple things to look for. First off, make sure it was actually published as an official publish. Next, find out who published it exactly. Find out the copyright, when it was made, all that sorts of facts. Next, find out if it's current and up to date, which means it's relevant to the subject you're talking about and it wasn't made 40 years ago. Next is to talk about checking for the author. First off, see if the author is legit, if he's an actual author or not. Check out the author's biases to see if he's one way towards a subject or another, such as Nazis, if he is either for the German side or for the Jewish side. Next is check the author's work. Check and see if he has any other work that he's actually done over time. Another thing to look for is to see if he's a well-known author or if he's unrecognizable to anyone in the source. So the easy thing you could do would be quick to Google your author and see what he's done. Next up, we have source of information. When looking for the source of information, there's a couple things you can look for. First, check the website source to see if it's an actual website. Then there's also no wikis allowed. Wikis are very unreliable and can be changed by anyone at any time. A couple different websites you can use that you know will always be effective are .govs, which are government established, .edu, which is education approved. It's approved by the Board of Education, which means it's actually qualified to be a website. And also journals and periodicals. Journals sometimes are reliable. They're also written by anyone at any time, but they're also a good source of information. And lastly, we have citations. Basically, find the original site where the author got all the research that he found. Make sure that they have the citations and they're accurately recorded.
So to summarize, when evaluating information on the internet, you should check for the publisher, see who published it and when it was published, author's credibility, whether or not the author is reliable, source of information, find out where this person got their information, and citation. So in conclusion, when evaluating information on the internet, make sure you check for author's authenticity, and you shall succeed.